Hi there. Welcome to the Fox Footy Vault, where we take a trip back in time to relive some classic VFL action from decades gone by. This time around, we're returning to round 20 of 1986, one of the most even seasons in many years, with 8 of the 12 teams still in with a legitimate chance of playing finals football with just 3 games remaining. Off the field, it had been another historic week, with the VFL appointing a new boss, former St Kilda player Ross Oakley, as rumours of an expanded national competition continued to gather momentum. On the field, we're going to take a look at 4 teams fighting for the last September berth, starting at Princes Park as Collingwood skipper Mark Williams pulls out all stops in his bid to lead the Pies to victory over premiership favourites Hawthorn. Then it's out to a typically wet and wintry Waverley for a desperate clash between North Melbourne and Fitzroy, 2 teams right on the knife edge of 5th spot. And finally to the Western Oval, the Bulldogs needing to account for the struggling D's to keep their September hopes alive for at least another week. There's finals hopes on the line all over Melbourne, and to guide us through the logjam, here's the bearded, yes, the bearded Tim Lane.
It's 3 months since Collingwood and Hawthorn met at VFL Park in the first half of the draw. Since then, their fortunes have run in parallel. A long winning streak, then a stunning reversal with 2 bad losses. The Hawthorn ship had been righted last week, but Collingwood's was floundering, and a loss to the Hawks might sink their hopes completely. We join Mark Cutler and Doug Hayward in the early minutes of the match, with the only scores 2 behinds to the Hawks.
So what might have been a goal, only a behind there. Good work from Dippia Domenico as Abernathy sends Collingwood out of danger into the safe hands of Big Cloak. He goes straight away onto Morwood, who's scragged rather severely by Brereton. Play on is the call. Up there for Dunstall again, who's led out well and taken it. And that's just typical of that strength of Jason Dunstall. Once he gets a break on a player, very hard to mow down. And he's playing on Michael Gafer, who's a very tough customer indeed too. So this will be a battle, similar to the battle we might see at the other end between Chris Langford and Brian Taylor. But we'll wait now for Jason Dunstall, who should put this through for Hawthorn. He has. So that's first goal now to Hawthorn. 1-2-8, and Collingwood yet to score.
And a very good player for the Hawks this season. Good bounce. Clokey's up above them, but Deer won it. Out wide and good play, Wallace. Lester Smith, cool and calm, boots it out wide. Curran's late on the scene. Underneath it, a courageous effort by Mullane. Dippy Domenico again, it's smothered. Curran comes through strongly. Williams with the ball is too long. Takes too long to get rid of it. Diving on it, Rosonico. And it will be bounced on the 50-metre mark. And Hawthorn still in attack and doing all the attacking.
Don't the crowd love it when Bertie Dippia Domenico gets near that ball? You can just hear those cheers go up immediately. And goes the bounce again. Cloak doing a power of work on the ball. Michael Tuck, the Hawthorn skipper, comes through. Left foot Rainmaker. Up there, Lockman underneath it. But so is Buckenara. Dunstall now again. Handball to Tuck. This is looking good for Hawthorn. Tuck's kick is beautifully smothered off the boot there by Collingwood. And to pick up the crumbs, Tony Shaw. He's just possessed immediately too. This is very tough stuff all the way. But we'll see a boundary throw in. And my word, I think we can look forward to a splendid afternoon's football here.
Brereton up high, well done too. Then again by Buckenara, Platten and Kerrison. Kerrison goes to the ground, hits it over the line, deliberately, no doubt at all about that one. Many's the time there's a chance to pardon them, but that was very, very bad football by Kerrison. And Johnny Platten is about 30 metres out from goal, a very difficult angle, kicking to the Robert Heatley stand. Platten, the South Australian, hooks it right across the face of goal. Brereton flies through for 1 behind.
Players waiting now for Abernathy to kick in again for Collingwood. They really haven't cleared out from this 50-metre line. They're waiting to lead, which they do. And Collingwood is in the van there through Mullane. But unfortunately, he was dispossessed. Now Curran, who ducks and, well, successfully got the free kick over the shoulder against Darren Mullane. Peter Curran will send Hawthorn back into attack with a left foot long kick.
Centres it. Dipper's got the chance, but Abernethy in front of him, Lockman in front of him, takes the chest mark. Lockman hand passes out wide. Running with the flight of it was Rosonico, not a good left footer, and it's over the line out of bounds about centre wing position on the grandstand side.
And this is about the furthest forward Collingwood have managed to get the ball all quarter. Only played about 8 minutes, but still it's been all Hawthorn to date. Cloak and Deere. Deere the tallest man on the ground until Fellows makes his appearance. Now it's cleared out by Hawthorn. Underneath it, nice courageous mark, Bruce Abernethy.
It was a courageous one too, well played. Down it goes towards Phillips and Mew. Mew goes up and behind is Langford, very clever. They both went underneath it, and Langford marks in front of Taylor. Very adventurous footballer, Chris Langford. Sends it out wide, looking for Dermott. Comes out looking for a free kick and will take it. Pushed in the back. And very, very conscious of him was Shane Morwood. Burton's at centre wing position. Dunstall's the target. Cloak comes in to give assistance and takes his third mark. David Cloak has played very well.
Collingwood Giant now ignores the running Rosonico and elects to kick it. Goes into centre. Tony Shaw can't quite take it. Coming through there is Deere doing the Rovers' job on this occasion. And back straight into the arms of Cloak it was. But coming through now is Williams, who's paddling the ball along. Hawthorn there in numbers. Loveridge on this occasion. He's got the skill to get around his Hawthorn opponent, but not the skill to put into the arms of his full forward. And there's Bruce Abernethy to mark for Collingwood.
And kicks it looking for Turner. Tucker's with him. Turner almost took it. Dipper Domenico shoots for goal again. And that one looks pretty good. He's deserved a goal. 2 brilliant solo efforts. And the wingman comes downfield and he's kicked 1-1. Dunstall's kicked 1-1. And Hawthorn are 2-3. And Collingwood yet to get past the half-forward line.
Won't please the Magpie fans. As we wait again, Hawthorn the 15-point advantage. Deere not able to get it out cleanly, but does well enough to get it to boot. Now it's racing towards the outer side. And first there will be Lester Smith for Hawthorn. Is dispossessed. Out there is Jamie Turner, number 24 for Collingwood, and he's doing it well. There goes CO with the handball along. Collingwood are finding players now, and this is good as he kicks it down long, looking for from behind. Ronnie McKeown. Well, he was lucky not to have got a free against him as Ayres backs up and clears it away for Hawthorn.
Lovely pass to Lester Smith. Lester Smith across to Tuck is good football. Mullane late on the scene tackles him. Off goes the captain and boots it out wide looking for Russo. Russo and Cloak. Russo wins it and off he goes. Peter Russo can go further. Chris Mew gets in his road. Kicks a left footer straight to Rosonico. Bad luck, Peter Russo. And the mark is taken safely in defence for the Magpies.
Disappointing finish there to a promising move. Now Rosonico tries to find Phillips, but a fingertip has dropped. There's Gary Bacanara, the big number 11. Not a bad shot at goal if it makes a distance. Touched on the line for mine and the umpires. So just one behind now to Hawthorn. And that was very tight, but I think the umpire was right. There was enough doubt.
He positioned himself beautifully, and I'm sure your call was right too. We're really right along that line. We're impossible situation to call a goal, but a good one to call one like that. Abernethy looks for Cloak and Deere beats him. A very fine mark. Deere quickly on in play on football. Dunstall and Gayfer again. Dunstall, an absolutely super mark. That's his third. He's kicked 1-1, and Lee Matthews will already be worried. Gayfer, his brilliant tagger, if you can use the word brilliant as a tagger, has been completely outpointed in the first 12 minutes by a brilliant performance by Jason Dunstall. The Queenslander comes in and kicks for goal and puts it through, and richly deserved.
3-7 the Hawks.
5 minutes on, the Hawks have continued to dominate, but have only added just 3 behinds.
Abernethy, typical style, goes long. It's up around 70 metres out from goal. Can raffle it between Morwood and Cloak there. Cloak it is who gets it. Onto his skipper there in Mark Williams for Collingwood. He drives it up forward. Danny Seo does some nice roving work and picks it up on the run. He has a shot for goal. It might bounce through. It has. A little bit of luck, but that'd be too cruel to the Magpies because I think they made enough of what opportunities they had in that forward thrust, and they capitalised through Danny Seo. Goal number 1 to the Magpies.
Deer's done well against Cloak. Cloak wins this one. Follows on strongly. Well played, Cloak. Dacos pushing and shoving there. Bounces awkwardly. Punched out wide. Well played Mullane, but lost it and picked up by Morris. Morris has got a lot of time. Steadies and kicks it very long, and Curran will be the leaper and Curran the marker. Beautiful football, Curran. On to Kennedy. Kennedy downfield, and it's Dunstall once again, and Bertie Dipidomenico. And the winger is doing it all. He's kicked 1-1, and that was a splendid mark by Peter Curran. And here comes the ubiquitous, the effervescent Mr. Bertie Dipidomenico, who's kicked 1-1 and will now, from about 15 metres out, register Hawthorn's 4th goal. Comes in, kicks for goal and puts it through.
Down goes the ball. Up go the ruckman. No one can get an accurate tap out, but doing the work there was Tuck in strong fashion for Hawthorn. Dipidomenico in there, the man who just kicked the last goal, takes one round the neck, gets a handball off to Terry Wallace. He drives it long, looking for his teammates down there forward, but it comes to the ground. Collingwood defending well on this occasion, and Abernathy chips it in with a nice left foot kick.
It's a good one to Mullane. Mullane fumbles badly, had a poor first quarter, the interstate wingman, and it's out of bounds. Well, a bit of a hue a minute ago when the umpire ran into a player, or vice versa. In comes Cloak very strongly. Abernathy, a wonderful leap. Mullane down towards Tony Shaw. Gains about 20 metres. It's out of bounds without centre wing position.
Fair and fast opening in this rain-affected match. Still plenty of skills being shown. Over the back it comes from the ruckman. Terry Wallace in there. He's always on the ground. Lovely handball over to Kennedy. He decides to have a bounce. Now a hand pass off to Loveridge, and he backs it up with some shepherding work. Loveridge steadies. He'll have a shot on the left foot now. And he was close enough to make it, I think. Goal to Richard Loveridge. Hawthorn on fire. 5-7 plays 1 goal straight. The Hawks doing it nicely. And the ball will go out of bounds.
Now to the second quarter, and 12 minutes in, the Hawks have added the only further goal to be 39 points to the good.
Cloak wins it again with his strength. Can't find a rover. Abernathy's there chasing it. Kennedy pulls him out. Eventually picked up by Dacos. Morris there battles with Seo. Lester Smith, the casual one. Steadies and sent it down towards centre-half forward. Lovely lead it was. I thought it was going to be taken away, but it's not. As Morwood doing it well. Morwood breaks away. Good tackle, Platten. In comes Wallace. Picked up by Greg Smith. Out looking for Williams. Mew beats him pointless. Recovers nicely, does Williams. Left foots it out wide, and in front is Ayres. McEwen goes up very low, high. Ayres out wide to Deer. Deer, a very good player to Wallace. Wallace half-back flank steadies. Down it goes looking for Brereton. Brereton goes and takes it. No, lost it. Thought it might have been a free kick. In comes Curran. Curran dives on it, tackled there. Out wide it goes, and downfield and out of bounds.
A hectic passage of play, eventually resulting in a boundary throw-in. And we haven't really seen much of Johnny Platten today, who's been one of the stars for Hawthorn this year. And that's unusual. And Hawthorn on top, he's usually there. Here goes Brereton now with strength, just charging through. Has a shot for goal. Oh, great goal, Dermot Brereton. Took on about 3 opponents, brushed them all aside, slung it onto his left boot, and it was true. And a goal, the 7th, in fact, for Hawthorn. 7-11-53 to 1-2-8 Collingwood.
Centre of the ground. Deer wins this one nicely. Out towards Dipidomenico. Run into Smith. Opportunity for Russo. Russo hits it cleverly to Tuck. Tuck will shoot for goal, and Tuck will goal. Oh, that was beautiful football. And very, very clever play. And Michael Tuck, the captain, lines it up and rams it through. And the Hawks are killing them. It's 8-11 to 1-2.
Hawks doing it easily. And doing it easily in the ruck at the moment as Deere takes it away. Greg Smith in there battling for Collingwood. He can't quite clear it out. Players are just being slung off the ball. And eventually the umpire will ball it up. And coming up from the bottom of that pack, Tony Shaw, who's been in everything. Has he plucked a free out to Birdie? No. Running back holding his nose there. It's a fairly large conk too, Birdie. A lot to hold.
Fellows is on for the first time at a quarter and a half. Here comes Russo on to Wallace. Wallace out wide to the flank. Steadied and kicked downfield behind the pack. Oh, what a leap. What a beautiful leap that time by Curran. Oh, he's got extraordinary ability in the air as this young man. He's fought his way back into the side and has really become one of the very important members of the top side in the Hawks, and now he comes in and shoots for goal and finishes off the way it should be finished off. That was a splendid mark and a fine goal, and Hawthorn 9-11 to 1-2.
Ball has bounced. This time it was Fellows who's come onto the ground. He tries to get a punch away, can't. In there is Abernathy. Looks like he's having a run on the ball at this stage. Out to Malone, one of his few touches today. Malone paddles it nicely and takes charge of the ball. Elects for a handball to Williams. Williams going in goalwards. Yes, a successful forward thrust by Collingwood results in a fine running goal to their captain, Mark Williams. And 2-2 now to 9-11. They're still behind. A long way to go for the Magpies.
1.5 quarters on the interchange. Beck and Buckenara takes him on. Out past Gayfer it goes. Gayfer will get it. He's tackled beautifully. Good, strong tackle by the big fellow. A good player is Greg Deere. And Loveridge is saying well done to him.
Just sharing some encouragement around. And that's good because they've been down the Hawks, but they're back now, that's for sure. Tuck now getting one of 2 tap-outs. Back it comes to that player. Handball over to Loveridge. Loveridge just puts it to boot very quickly. Platten is in front there, but it's punched away from him. Overrunning the ball was Collingwood. Back to Tuck. Gee, it's difficult for players to find their feet. Now Brereton from behind, and how did he pluck it away? I'll never know. There were 2 players in front of him, and he stood his ground beautifully and judged it much better than anybody else. And his powerful hands took control of the ball. Fine mark, and he'll have this shot now from about 20 metres out. The angle a little bit severe, but I'd venture to say that Dermot Brereton should put goal number 10 on the board for Hawthorn here. He has. Well done, Dermot Brereton.
And that's Brereton's second goal, both in the second term.
And it was all over a long way from home. By half-time, the Hawks 65 points in front. At the end, they were 72-point winners. The Magpies' one ray of hope is that in the last 2 weeks they faced Richmond and St Kilda and could well win both. Dippia Domenico got 5 goals for the winners, Brereton and Dunstall 3 each, and Brian Taylor did well to boot 5 in a losing score. Well, whereas Collingwood faced the league's toughest opponent in its bid to keep in touch with the top 5, the assignment facing North Melbourne and Fitzroy was a true test of each's worthiness to appear in the finals. Both were seeking the same spot, and both were in form, having won their last 3 games. Well, after an even first quarter, we join at 6 minutes into the second. North lead by 5 points, and with me in commentary is Jeff Leake. Rendell winning in the ruck. Thornton, a little backhander to Loken. Plenty of gusto about Jim Cracker. Harris, though, gets the kick. Fitzroy chance. Clayton. Beyond half forward. Well taken, McCann. Had a very shaky start to the match, but he settled right down. Smith to Schimmelbusch. Towards Atkins. In fact, it wasn't. It was Robertson. Loken. Pekin, well tackled. Jim Cracker's playing like a man with the devil inside him, but I say that in a kind way. Clayton. Great goer for Fitzroy, a man who's earned plaudits from his coach. It's great desperation. They say he can't mark, can't kick, can't hand pass. And he's one of their best players every week.
And he's a Clayton's footballer, is he? Yeah, for all those reasons. Yeah. Sun's out now, would you believe it? A complete paradox of weather in Melbourne today. Second quarter, 7-minute mark. No scores for the second quarter. And North Melbourne leading by 5 points. Pekin's tagging Jim Cracker in this second quarter. Philip Knight couldn't do a successful job in the first.
Loken and Ruse, but Atkins wins the ball, and here's a chance for North. Jim Cracker runs onto it. Long shot. Oh, that's a great kick. That is a magnificent goal. And in the lead-up, did you see the way he waited back as the ball bounced? He didn't charge it. He waited and watched calmly and took his time, sized it up, and kicked a superb goal. And North lead by 11 points.
Jim Cracker just kicked a slashing goal. His first. His brother Phil's kicked 2. That's Ruse for the Lions. Here's Blakey now. North leading 38-27. Schimmelbusch with a cut over the eye, got a crack in the eye. Kicks the ball, and McDonald's marked it. That's not McDonald, it's Fairley. He's playing fairly well.
5 kicks. Goes for Glendinning. Ruse is a tough man, though. Or Pert, rather. Cooper. And here we go again. Jay Cracker. Beaten, though. Cooper clears to halfback. Fitzroy with a very tough task here. The Crackers are playing well, and when they are, North are very formidable.
McDonald, they're doing the ruck work. He's got a lot more experience of that. He's young Robertson. By gee, he's a youngster. His father played for North on the wing, and the kid's emulating his father's style. Got a bit of go in him as well. The Crackers again. Phil, oh, great anticipation by Cooper. Swings it across goal on the other side. Roy Ramsey almost a mark there. Thornton taps it back well. Cooper ran into position well from the back pocket of the half-back line. McIver. What can he do? He lost his momentum then. Here's his champion, the boy from the bush, Dwyer. Right down the half-forward flank, and Law intercepts very well. Comes back, Dwyer's there again. Larkin now. Plenty of time to turn. Found a man waiting in Ramsey.
Nice build-up this by the Ruse. Goes for Glendinning. Hits him on the chest, and he drops it. Bad miss. Beautifully set up from the half-back line by North Melbourne. And they were let down then by their champion, who's playing at full forward.
McDonald a bit more resistance than Harris against Rendell, who's been winning in the ruck. Cameron. Ross with the chance. Bernie Harris was dangerous in the first quarter. They seem to pick him off now. Schimmelbusch had a wild kick. Oh, an unkind bounce here, but Thornton gathered it well. That was Ackley punching for the Ruse. Robertson once more. Larkin looking for Glendinning, and maybe Phil Cracker's the target at the back. He's lurking, waiting for it as Glendinning spins out of trouble beautifully. Paul Reels will mark this.
Thought Glendinning might have hand passed then. Perhaps he was too anxious to atone for the error earlier. Bad kick. Jim Cracker, Phil Cracker. Good tackle, Pert. And Fitzroy out of trouble by dint of desperate defence. But Harris, between centre and centre-half forward, passes well. McDonald, who kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Don't think he'll kick one from here outside the 50-metre mark. Taking his 5th kick, so he's been a hard-working and creative player up forward. Having a shot, trusting his kicking ability, using the old-fashioned torpedo punt. It's a nice spiral on it. Long, high, and handsome. Great goal. That's his 3rd. And well might he celebrate. As North Melbourne get away to a 17-point lead, the biggest in the game so far.
McDonald's third goal. North lead 44-27. And the Crackers are very, very dangerous. The Lions into attack now. McCann's beating Quinlan in the second term. Quinlan beat it 2 against him early. Ackley's handball to Schimmelbusch. The clever little man gets it. Tries to weave his way out of a dreadful pick. Conlon tackled. He waited to be tackled. A quick kick there by Bernie Harris. Oh, the wrong bounce. It just got over the line, Tim, didn't it?
Hit the behind post and fell back in, Jeffrey. Hence the result, a throw in. Bernie Harris almost kicking his third there. A few mistakes by the North defence. Robertson ever hard working for the Kangaroos, in at the bottom of that one again. And umpire Saws, officiating in his 200th game, calls for the ball up. Great achievement by the man in white. Quinlan. Darren Harris. Oh, well played, but well tackled by Conlon. Crocker. Schimmelbusch. Quick kick's the name of the game out of there, I think. Rendell, though, bangs it back whence it came. They all flew. Not Conlon. Ramsey. Fitzroy getting North under a bit of pressure here. And again, Rendell lurking the kick behind.
Cameron in towards the half-forward line. The Lions off the hook. Oh, Arsieri charged out and goes through 3 of them. He's got to get past the big fella Rendell. And the big fella goes down. Keeps possession. Pings it out. Robertson caught, gets it out well. Here's Crocker. Shrugs a tackle. The kick down towards Fairley. Well, he's got full Cracker out there to do all the work for him. Will Shepherd will run into position. Funny kick from Phil to Glendinning. It bounced unfavourably for the Lions. Good play, Glendinning. Look at that. Then the long kick to the goal square. Fairley's a chance. It'll be all the Lions here with superb football here. Blakey to Roos. They're out of bother, but there's a nest of Kangaroos out there, and it's Arsieri who's marking.
Centres the ball well. Not much there, though. The idea was right, but there weren't the forwards in position. Pekin. Blakey puts him in good position, too. No North forwards on that side of the ground. Loken. Thornton. Great smother, Ackley. Couldn't quite cap it off. Bernie Harris. Well done again by David Ackley, but again, unfortunately for him, the result not quite right, and he's put it out on the full. And Harris, great kick winner for Fitzroy, will take another.
A half-back line, and Harris has had his 10th kick. He's kicked a couple of goals. It's a bad one. Kick to Robertson. On to Jim Cracker, across to Phil Cracker. Again, these two, it's radar that happens to him. Too far for Phil to make the distance, but he's not going to try. He finds Andrew Fairley with North Melbourne leading 44-27 halfway through this second quarter. And the Cracker boys very prominent. 2 goals to Phil and 1 to Jim. And Fairley's kick has made it. They lead 50 to Fitzroy's 27, and a very, very critical game, and all the players out there know it, that the losers today can kiss the finals chances goodbye.
Both these teams masters at playing a half a game of football and half a bad game. Last time they played, Fitzroy dominated the first half and North took it away from them in the second. Well, so far we have a reversal today with North Melbourne taking the honours in the first half and leading by 23 points. Halfway through the second term. It's a big lead. Ackley. Jim Cracker. Oh, what a clever mark.
Ooh.
Gets a lead from his brother, Fabulous Phil, who's got away from Hinchin. Push in the back. Not too much doubt about that. I'm sure Phil would have marked it had he not been pushed. He's looking for Glendinning. He's had a dozen possessions and he uses all of them just as he used that. McDonald doing a lot of circling and eventually getting clear and in good position. And he's got his tail up. He's kicked 3 goals, the last of them from further out than this. And as he takes his 6th kick, he'll feel pretty good about it, I'm sure. And a goal here could really split Fitzroy apart. It's a poor kick. He's hooked it. Plenty of Lion defenders up. Ruse smothered though. Throw in with North deep in attack. They're doing most of the attacking at the moment, and the scoreboard in the background shows that they're nearly 4 goals in front.
And they've done all the scoring this quarter. Fitzroy have not got off the mark, and the Roos have kicked 3 straight goals. A tremendous effort in this third term, and the Lions really worried. Not now as Hinchin takes it. Kick's not a good one though, down towards the centre. Harris was held and the ball away from him. Arsiri for North. Glendinning in front of Perth, then Props. Got it! Did well. You can see Glendinning used his nut at that occasion. He ran and stopped and then stuck his butt out. And Perth either had to push him in the back because there's no chance of moving him, and the ball was low.
What did he stick out?
His butt. This is his 6th kick. Really pings it away and right off target. That's a behind. That's his 2nd.
Rendell coming off the ground, being replaced by Michael Reeves. So Fitzroy deciding to opt for a bit more mobility and a bit less height, perhaps giving Rendell a rest too, because he might be all that match fit. McIver for Pekin. Tough opponent, a great opponent. Phil was the dynamic one in the first quarter. He's still playing well, but Jim now has perhaps become the most influential man in the match.
Well, you could see his desperation. That was certainly play of the day stuff there. Osborne's done nothing, and Conlon's been tagged each time he's gone near it. So North have done their homework on the Lions. John Law, a tough contender. Here's Conlon over the top. Good play, Dwyer again. Oh, bad luck, this fella dropped it. Bernie Harris, a big chance now, spinning and weaving and kicks. And he's got it. Good shepherding by Bernie Quinlan. That was a clever goal. But it wouldn't have been had Bernie Quinlan not shepherded so well to let it just fall in.
So with a badly needed goal, the Lions edge back into it, but they're still down by 18 points. Blakey puts them into attack. Crocker, though, makes a good mark. Smith. Well-placed kick. 3 men running at the ball. Arsiri, 2 hands better than 1, especially in these conditions. Throw in between the wing and North's half-forward flank.
And Michael Reeves, a fresh player, coming on to take on McDonald. Got the tap as well. Finds Blakey, and that was a bit of a panic kick. Crocker for North. And Reeves again, he's fresh, keen to get into the action. Dwyer gets it out well for the Lions. Connor's getting at the ball often, but not doing much with it. But now he picks up a free kick for a push in the back. It's his 3rd kick only.
Cooper. Harris in the way. 1 Harris on each team. They're both doing reasonably well. This big one for North and the small one for Fitzroy's kicked 3 goals. Good mark. No, he didn't hold it, McDonald. I thought he held it on his chest. Atkins. Well played. Lead from Glendinning. Good pass. Oh, delightful stuff. Great delivery by Atkins. The man running full pelt out from full forward onto the ball. Glendinning's 5th kick this quarter. Has he got the distance? Yes, he has. From 50 metres out. It's his first goal. He had a shot from well inside that distance about 5 minutes ago and missed. But like all champions, he endeavours not to make the same mistake twice. That was the half-time score, and it was the winning break for North Melbourne. They stretched their lead from 24 to 32 points by the end. They're now just out of the 5 on percentage, and Fitzroy have lost their place in the top 5. Phil Cracker and McDonald got 3 goals each for North, Harris 4 for Fitzroy, and Bernie Quinlan kicked 3. Well, Footscray played host to Melbourne at the Western Oval in a vengeful mood. The Bulldogs had received a drubbing the previous week at the hands of North Melbourne, and furthermore they'd been humiliated by yesterday's opponent, lowly Melbourne, in round 8 this year, and they just had to win to have a chance of making the finals against an opponent buoyant after 2 good wins. We joined David Grant and Ian Robertson 4 minutes after the start with 3 Footscray behinds, the only scores on the board.
Footscray striving to stay in touch with the 5.
Shane Zantuck takes the kick off. Rance, I thought, might have interfered there. Chance for Melbourne. Stephen Stretch, who's been a fine player in his first year. Down through centre. First time Melbourne have crossed the centre line. Out wide. Chance there for Brett Lovett. Close to the line. Keeps it in beautifully. The good mark taken by Zeno Tatsaris. Really had his hands full the other night at the MCG against Ross Glendinning. McGuinness, Brad Hardy acting captain for the day. Forward, looking over there for Stephen Wallace with the mark taken by Zantuck. What a stalwart Shane Zantuck has been. He's had a career spanning many, many years. And there's another one who's a veteran, Alan Jarrett. Both teammates at North Melbourne at one stage. Dean Chiron, former St Kilda player, number 21 on the bottom of the pack, and Peter Carey calls for the bounce. So Footscray doing most of the attacking, neither team favoured by this westerly breeze, which blows from our commentary position across to the action at present.
Groenewegen over the top was all day. Quick kick off the ground towards the wing for the Demons. Flower can't control it. Malin. High ball, centre half forward. Cordner at the back. White. Chance for Jarrett. Here's White again. Pressured. Steve McPherson. White. Oh, good stuff by Robin White. He should be... Oh, he's penalised. Well, my reading of that would have been a free kick to White, but Cameron very severe, and a chance for the Bulldogs. It's Petraglia just inside the 50-metre line. It's his 3rd kick. We're 6 minutes into the first quarter, neither side yet to score a goal. Petraglia's high ball. He's into the square. No mark taken. Punched through from behind to the Bulldogs. And Footscray on the scoreboard leading quite well. They're 4 behinds. Melbourne yet to score, but the Bulldogs look as though they're kicking with the aid of the breeze.
Zantuck again, that raking left foot kick of his. Beautiful disposer of the ball. Knocked away. Stephen Turner, the big fellow for Melbourne, in front. Brian Wilson. Or Footscray there. Rance overruns it. Dean Chiron. Close to the line. Out of play again. Right on that 50-metre line. You can see it there. The yellow on the ground. And for some reason they have red at the other end, and that's commonplace these days at all league grounds. Half-forward flank. Footscray in attack towards the Geelong Road end. Close to the line again. Big fellow up there was Robert Groenewegen, who's come into the team today. Max Crow withdrawing. So the players in the team from the selected 23 are Groenewegen, Liberatore and Steve McPherson. Forward again, Phil Malin. Up towards Beasley. Richards in front this time. Scouting beautifully is Craig Somerville. Close. Steve Wallace marks, but over the line. And Somerville off target. So plenty of attacking from Footscray. 5 behinds after just on 7 minutes of play.
Kick in by Campbell towards the half-back flank, but Pearce is there all on his own and takes a good safe mark. Andrew Purser, a lot resting on his shoulders. Footscray sadly missing Kennedy, Royal, Hawkins. Short kick by Purser. Beasley can't mark. Malin. Here's a chance for Baxter. Baxter goes for goal. Long kick into the goal square, and it's marked by Wallace. It's not often we see Steve Wallace up in the goal square, but he's taken the mark only a matter of metres out, probably 3 metres out, being put round on a fairly severe angle, but he should be able to kick a goal from there. Goal umpire moves across ever so slightly, but it's the first goal of the match to Footscray at the 9-minute mark, and it's kicked by their centre man, or ex-centre man, Stephen Wallace.
9 minutes gone, first term. Footscray 1-5-11. Melbourne have only been to half forward once. Out of defence, Murray Rance. Mark taken by Phil Malin. One wonders why Malin is not in this team more often. He really is a goer. Wilson can't grab it. Rance harasses him. McGuinness likes the free ball. Lovely hand pass forward. Stretch might bring that undone. Malin, McGuinness. Plenty of runners for McGuinness, but he does it all himself. Goes in tight towards Beasley. Petraglia, free, left foot kick, goal.
The Bulldogs doing it well. They're 17, Melbourne yet to score. Chance for McGuinness. Hand pass out. Difficult conditions now. Rain falling quite steadily at the Western Oval. Bit of a bunch-up of players, Wilson and Malin. Two very experienced campaigners. And umpire Carey decides on a bounce. The Bulldogs 2-5-17, Melbourne yet to score. Chance for Purser, he gets the ball wide. Ford playing on a wing for the Bulldogs, kicks it wide. Stephen Wallace, can he get there first? Zantuck, here's a chance for Somerville. And umpire Cameron has penalised Wallace for perhaps a trip on Zantuck, and Zantuck will take the ball for Melbourne at half-back.
Been a very busy player, Shane Zantuck, so far. Plenty of opportunity for him. Neil Cordy went high, couldn't quite take the mark. He'll get the penalty free kick, though. Zantuck and the co-Melbourne defenders have been under pressure right from the start. This is as far as Melbourne have got. Half forward so far. Neil Cordy back along that outer flank. David Cordner from behind. Punches clear. Jarrett. But Peter Baxter interfering there. And the free kick will go Melbourne's way. Stretch it is towards half forward again. Let's see if they can go one better here. Stephen Turner up high. Wilson. Scrubbing kick. David Williams. Williams can't grab it though. And Footscray out of defence.
Tantzaris breaks clear. Gives the handball to Brian Cordy. Here's the running Hardy. Acting skipper for the day. Kicks it long towards Beasley. Beasley in front. Can he mark? Nearly grabbed it. McPherson. Here's a chance for McGuinness. Goes goalwards and has kicked it. Another goal to the Bulldogs. This time through Tony McGuinness.
Back with umpire Peter Carey here, and it's all Melbourne, 3-5-23. We'll see in the second term just what effect this breeze is having, but I think it's the dominance of the Footscray rucks at this stage, sending them forward time and again. David Cordner clears. Whoops, collision here, no talking between the Cordy brothers. And it's Brian, 100 games, takes the mark against brother Neil. Plenty of Footscray support, they really mean business today. Ford goes down, high tackle by Batterston, and umpire Peter Carey quite correctly calls the free kick. And Stephen Wallace will probably take this. Baxter coming back with it. It's not even Baxter. It's Craig Somerville, a little fellow, towards centre half forward, but the kick smothered off the boot. Petraglia beautifully on, well done. Looking for Steve McPherson, close to the line. And poor old Melbourne really can't get into this game. Footscray after 13 minutes, close to 14 minutes, 23 points to 0.
Boundary throw-in. Chance there for Turner for Melbourne. Quick kick off the ground. Into the forward pocket, Somerville. But the ball over the boundary line in front of Zantuck. Neither player can control it. And another throw-in about 30 metres around from the Footscray goal. The Bulldogs 3-5. Lead Melbourne yet to score. In ruck for Footscray's Beasley over the top of the pack. He gets the tap out, but Alan Johnson sees the ball over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Very disappointing season from Melbourne. They had their moment of glory 2 weeks ago, defeating Collingwood at Victoria Park. Penalty against Footscray here? No, to Footscray. Well, for my money, the player was trying to charge his way through the pack, Stephen Wallace. Lost possession. Make up your own mind on that. We had a lovely shot of it, but Steve Wallace, for the second time, has a shot for goal. He already has one. Let's see if he can make it 100%. He can. 2 goals to him, 4 to Footscray, and all that at 15 minutes into the first term. And so far, for the finals pretenders, Footscray, it's a cakewalk. They need to win, and need to win well today, because they are like Collingwood and North Melbourne, are trailing 2 teams, Essendon and Fitzroy, by a goal. And John Northey, a Melbourne coach with plenty of work to do. Stewie Spencer alongside, not Stewie Spencer, Frank Adams there. And Northey with a lot of thinking already.
Bounce back in the centre. Knockout by Turner. Petraglia for Footscray to half forward. Chance for Groenewegen. Takes the ball nicely. Now he's in trouble with the ball on the ground. He's not known for his agility. Scrambles hard. Somerville there for the Bulldogs. David Cordner being scragged off the ball by young Somerville, and a bounce will take place between half-forward flank and the forward pocket, outer side of the ground. The Bulldogs in attack. They lead by 29 points to 0. Over the top of the pack, Turner. Chance for Somerville. His quick kick. Thin air. Malin on the bottom of the pack has the football. And there's some idea of what the weather's like out at the Western Oval. Plenty of umbrellas and plenty of people well guarded against the rain.
Stephen Turner there, but Malin takes it beautifully. On to Petraglia. Beasley the target. Ball free. Steve McPherson shot for goal from 20 metres out. Looks good by the action behind the goal. It's goal number 5 for them, Footscray.
It's all Footscray at the 17-minute mark. Purser gets the tap out. Taken by Greg Healy. Mark taken by Peter Baxter. Plays on quickly. Kick around the corner to half forward. Members side of the ground. No mark taken. Punch away. Flower under pressure. Kicks with the left foot towards the wing. Strong play by Cordy. Can he control it? No, he's tackled by White. The ball runs free. No, it's a free kick to Cordy. And perhaps in these conditions, that was warranted because Robin White showed a little bit too much desperation. Cordy across to Petraglia. Petraglia's long kick towards Beasley. At the back of the pack, no one could take the mark. Punched out of it by Groenewegen was David Cordner. And David Cordner will take the free kick for the Demons between full-back and centre half-back.
Umpires at the Western Oval, Peter Cameron, Peter Carey. Lots of experience there for this important game for Footscray. Forward bustled aside. Taken by Malin, who's been busy, to centre half forward. Little Somerville. Lovely mark. Peter Baxter from centre half forward. Beasley. Well, Simon Beasley, like his 19 teammates this afternoon, certainly looks fired up to atone for their disappointments over recent weeks. He's taking front position against the bustling Richards. Our Beasley goalless so far. 2 behinds on the board from 25 metres. Just, I think.
Big quarter for Footscray, and it was another match that was over early. A 7-goal lead by quarter time. The Demons hung in for the next 2 quarters, made a bit of ground, but then Footscray ran away to a 57-point win. 9 goals to Beasley, 2 each to Flower, Healy and Jarrett for Melbourne, and the Bulldogs are back in the 5. And now here are some more highlights of this week's 3 feature matches.
Flank. Tuck away immediately now. Centres it in looking for Dunstall, who gets up high and does it very well indeed.
Abernethy, you better hurry. He's got plenty of time, and down to Mullane for his first kick. Mullane about centre wing position will kick it very long, and then kicks with his left foot to Taylor, which is well done. Wallace can't take it. Russo's hand pass. Dacos scoots away from the pack. Clever football. Hooks it back. In front. A good mark taken by Taylor again.
Yeah, all alone. He's got Mew running by. He takes him on. Mew now with a high kick down to full forward. Brereton and Dunstall together. Dunstall. Yes! Oh.
Over the top of fellows. Couldn't pick it up. Nicely picked up and then lost for Collingwood by Mullane. Here comes Buckenara. Buckenara out wide, and look who's going to mark it, and off he goes and shoots for goal and got it. Oh, he's a beauty. Tuck's kick doesn't cover any distance. Shaw's short kick is a good one to CO. CO hand passes out towards Rosonico. He tries a short one to Taylor, and well played Collingwood.
Now it comes out to Dacos. He's got some space in the centre of the ground. A nice put pass out to Paul Rosonico. Rosonico keeping it in front of him. Lester Smith interfering from behind. He shrugs that player off. Who's he got up forward? No one. He has to just put it to boot, and he does. Taylor using strength has taken it.
Cameron and Harris. McGrath, rather, for Fitzroy doing the ruck work. Oh, McCann this time. Well done. Second kick only. It's a beauty up towards Quinlan. Covered by Ackley and McCann. Here's Harris for his second, and he's done it. Arsieri, Harris. Glendinning again. At the back steal. Yes!
57 to 33. The Kangaroos. And here's Thornton putting the lines into attack. That's a clever mark to Quinlan. Clayton knocked it away from him. Here's Dwyer. He's a good player. Lovely balance. Knows use the handball. Across to Hinchin. Now across to Pert. Oh, that's a good 30-metre one. Right in the arms there of Hinchin. Darting through is Bernie Harris. He's kicked 3 goals, and Quinlan in the can. Quinlan.
Well-placed kick for Dwyer. Well done. Tunnels it to Quinlan. Great hand pass. McIver. He's done it. Well-played ruse to take it away from Fairley. And this outstanding young player spearheading the defence well. And a great shepherd from his partner in defence, Gary Pert. 8.5 forward. Conlon. Big chance now. Bernie Harris, who's kicked 3. Oh. And it bounces right for him.
Chance for Chris Connolly. Robbie Flower, scoring distance, 45 metres out. Goal coming up. The first for Melbourne. Over the top of Baxter. Nice recovery too. Had back position then. Once the ball hit the ground, he did well. Good mark, Neil Cordy. Batterston towards centre wing. Purser from behind. Looks easily the best big man afield. Robbie Flower, lovely football. One step too long. Dean Chiron
kicks it across towards Malin. Here's a big chance for Footscray. McGuinness. Left foot kick towards half-forward. Wallace playing half-forward flank. They already kicked 2 goals, Stephen Wallace. Back turns. Left foot kicking towards centre-half forward. Somerville takes the mark. Play on, says the umpire. Well, I'll be. Petraglia. Hand pass wide. McGuinness. Right foot kick for goal. It's a goal. What good play by Footscray. Chance to kick his 4th and Footscray's 10th. Gets underneath it a little bit. It's a high one into the square. Purser marks.
Len Gandini towards half-forward now, looking for Brian Wilson. Oh, judged it beautifully between 2 Footscray players. Melbourne looking ever so much better. David Williams knocks it clear of Hardy. That was good football. Now, skipper Robbie Flower, can he break through the tackle? He can. He lines up from 35 metres out and he's goal. Through centre wing now, called on, helped there by Murray Rance's good football to centre half forward. Watch out for Petraglia behind the play here. Oh, instead there's a fine mark taken by Little Somerville. He's taken to it.
Well, as you've noticed in some of the replays, yesterday's matches were not played in the easiest conditions, although the weather varied across the city and through the afternoon in the best Melbourne tradition. We still found an outstanding mark, though, if, like the umpire, you're prepared to concede that Melbourne's Tony Campbell held the ball for long enough. We'll accept the man in white's decision and award Campbell mark of the day.
McGuinness in there again. Malin. Murray Rance, and Rance will take the free kick. He didn't have possession of the ball. He's between centre wing and left half forward flank.
Long kick into the pocket by Rance. Oh, the high flyer. Spectacular attempt by Melbourne's Tony Campbell, and he's been paid.
For a badly beaten team, Melbourne fares well in our awards this week, as a Demon also produced the play of the day. And this is one of the best we've seen since introducing this award 3 or 4 years ago. A superb exhibition of tackling from the rugged former North Adelaide player, Robin White. 10 out of 10 from us.
Peter Baxter towards half forward now, looking for Gronawagon. Cordner in front. Steve McPherson. Oh, tackle. Must lose possession. And free kick.
Super tackle by White. Oh.
And Shane Zantuck says, come on, we've got the run of the ball and a 15-metre penalty. Footscray are making error after error. Ian and Robin White, the South Australian, takes that penalty. Pretty close to centre wing now for his 7th kick.
Well, this guy is a real dour stayer, Robin White. His kick's in short. Purser takes the mark. It's not paid by Cameron. Play on. Purser feeds it out to Egan. Egan goes clear for the Bulldogs and kicks it high into the centre. It's a punch away. Petraglia is caught by White again. It's another good tackle. Turner goes after McGuinness. McGuinness tries to break clear. It's another good tackle by White. 3 brilliant tackles within 45 seconds by Robin White, and he's been rewarded with his 2nd free kick.
Goal of the day you've already seen. It was kicked by Phil Cracker. Nothing I might say would embellish what was a superb effort. McDonald unopposed. Big thump for North Melbourne. And every metre you can gain in these conditions is invaluable. Well played, Larkin. Brilliantly out of trouble. And again, Phil Cracker. 50 metres from goal. Superb. Still going. Long shot.
Sheer brilliance there from Phil Cracker as the Roos kept their finals hopes alive in the wet at Waverley. And prior to that, it was the league-leading Hawks dealing Collingwood's September dreams a massive blow with a 12-goal thumping at Princess Park. The Bulldogs were the big winners in round 20 of 1986. Their big win over Melbourne leapfrogging the Doggies up to the top 5 with just 2 matches remaining. The stage was indeed set for a thrilling finish to the 1986 home and away season. That's it for this edition of From the Fox Footy Vault. Join us again next time for plenty more great action from years gone by, right here on your home of the classics, Fox Footy.